is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Florida.
Lots of sun, lots of heat. And the Marlins and the Padres will finish off a weekend series. The Fish are 5 over, a 1-0 loss last night, a tight win on Friday night. Wild card situation, Miami has company now. Pittsburgh's hot, so are the Mets. And it tightens up in that wild card with St. Louis still holding that #2 spot. Hi everybody, Rich Waltz along with Eduardo Perez. Okay, you can look at a series and say it would be nice to sweep. You can look at a week and say it'd be great to win 5 in a row. But managers that go to the postseason, and Don Mattingly's been there the last 3 years, say just win series and then move on. Miami has that opportunity.
They do have that opportunity, and one thing that they've been good at all season long is winning series and having a short-term memory. So yesterday, put it behind you. Today, it's a different day. Go out there, play your game, and all those runs you didn't score yesterday, let's do it today.
Yesterday, everybody expected Andrew Kashner to face his old team, the Padres. But the blister on his finger is not cooperating. And so the Marlins, in an emergency, have brought up Justin Nicolino to start this game. Hunter Cervenka from the bullpen is optioned back to New Orleans. So let's start with Nicolino. What should we expect from Justin Nicolino?
Well, last time we were here, not a lot of cutters because he was cut off from his repertoire. Now you're going to see a little bit more of that cutter action again, but he'll have more confidence also using that four-seam fastball. Be on the lookout for the unknown. What I mean by that, he wasn't expecting to start. Now he is. Why not just go out there and have the game of your life? This is a game of opportunities. This is one for him.
Luis Perdomo had the game of his life his last time out. A great start, and he beat the Marlins earlier in San Diego this year.
He has, and when you look at Perdomo, the biggest thing for him is establishing that fastball and establishing it early. He has a lot of action with it, a lot of movement. If he starts getting confidence with it, then he'll start giving you that changeup that you just saw him point right there in that slider, and it'll be tough to get. So you have to get to him again early.
A Sunday in Miami, and an important Sunday for the Fish. Leading the way last night, Martin Prado. He's done it all year long. 4 more hits. A deeper look when we get back. Sunshine in Miami. Couple silver medalists. How about that? Let's go out center field. Couple of gold medalists right now.
Oh,
Craig
Rich,
Minervini and
Rich.
Carl Pavano.
Thanks, Rich. And good afternoon again, everybody. Boy, the Marlins offense, they know it. They've been struggling. They every now and then have shown you a good game, but more than not, on the second half of the season, they've been unable to come up with some big hits. And that's why they've been pretty much a 500 team since the All-Star break.
Yeah, and you know, like we touched on, they're setting the table. They just got to finish it off. I mean, guys are getting on. They're getting opportunities. They're just not getting that last hit that really buries the hitter out.
Here's a guy who's been incredible runners in scoring position all season long. How about a 381 mark in that scenario?
He just gets it done. I mean, this guy from day one that he's in the big league, he's been professional. He studies. He comes to the field prepared, ready to win every day. I mean, look at this. The ball's right down the middle. He hits it up the middle. Ball's in. He pulls it. Ball's away. It seems like he's a step ahead of a lot of the pitchers, and that's what good hitters do. They're prepared when they get the pitch that they're looking for.
He had his fourth four-hit game of the season last night. What can his teammates learn from Martin Prado and try and take that? And everybody's different, but what can they learn?
You know, we talked about it yesterday. As a younger guy, you got to look at these older guys and say, what's his recipe? Everyone has their own recipe for success, and as you go throughout your career, you gain your recipe. But you can take a little from this guy, a little from that guy. Not every guy's going to be the same, but everyone has something that can help you out. Not everything's going to help you out, but that recipe, the guys that stay around a long time obviously have it, and these younger guys got to look at them. You know, hey, I could probably learn from this. A
good topic on Italian Heritage Day here, because there's nothing like that Sunday recipe with that sauce smelling around the house. All right, we got baseball coming up here. The San Diego Padres and the Miami Marlins. What recipe is in store today for the fish? We'll find out next.
Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica. By Southwest, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. Justin Nicolino from New Orleans to Miami, right into the fire to face the San Diego Padres. And the reason being the blister on Andrew Cashner's finger, troublesome right now, and the Marlins have decided to push him back at least a few days from his starts. It would have been a matchup of Cashner against his old team, the San Diego Padres, whom the Marlins acquired him from just a few weeks ago. So, Justin Nicolino, Scouting Report, give us your thoughts as he attacks the Padres.
But last time we talked about him dishing the cutter in his start. Didn't feel too comfortable with it, still needs it, and he feels that he needs to be able to establish that inside part, so he went back to it, but not as a higher rate as before. So we're going to take a look at that, see how it works for him. He'll still need that four-seamer to be effective in this game.
There's Andrew Cashner, and don't count out Cashner starting a game in New York if that blister in the next day or two improves. Jankowski is up. The lefty bat out of Stony Brook takes a fastball in. This ball game is underway in Miami. Travis Jankowski, Alexei Ramirez, and Yangervis Solarte to follow. That's Prado, and wow, what a way to start. Martin Prado to his right. Nice pickup, athletic play, and he gets a speedy runner at first.
Watch Prado take that quick step. He's anticipating Jankowski getting out of the box in a hurry. Struggled to get out of the box. Had enough time. Perfect throw. Nicolino loving it.
Prado last night, 4 for 4 night, was rubbing that left shoulder a bit during the course of the game, but in the lineup against the Padres. Here is Ramirez, and he takes a strike. Ramirez finds himself in a different spot than we're used to seeing. This is a guy that played a long time for the White Sox at shortstop. Guides one out to Rojas, who gobbles it up and throws him out. To find out where Alexei Ramirez and the rest of the Padres are, Eduardo Perez and UHealth Sports Medicine.
Let's focus on Ryan Schimpf. Last night, 2 for 3, 2 games in a row with a home run. This guy is hitting at a rampant pace when it comes to runners in scoring position. At the same time, when it comes to slugging percentage, then you see Alexei Ramirez just made the out. He's in right field. He's hitting in the 2 spot. 6-3 if you're scoring at home.
Will Myers was a late scratch from the Padres lineup, and that scrambled a lot of things and put Alex Dickerson in. It moved Solarte from third over to first. It moved Rosales from left into third.
And it really surprised me that this was not the original lineup. You put Solarte at first, bring Rosales to third base where he feels a lot more comfortable. Hasn't had a lot of starts and experience in the outfield. That way you only have to move one guy from an uncomfortable position. But hope Will Myers is fine, but they will not have to face him today.
That one popped foul and out of play. Here comes the defense for Miami. Brought to you by Southwest. In the outfield, Yelich, Ozuna, Ichiro, Prado, and Xavier Scruggs on the corners. Miguel Rojas start at short. D. Gordon's at second, and JT Realmuto is behind the plate. Nicolino out in front, 0-2 of Solarte. He cranks that one foul. One of the things, and it's noticeable right now, that the Marlins had asked Nicolino to do in the minor leagues is work at a little quicker pace, a little more up-tempo. So Juan Nieves is curious to see how that translates here on the big stage. 0-2. Good changeup. And Rojas throws out Solarte. 3 ground ball outs to the left side. That's a good sign for Nicolino. Padres. Marlins getting ready to face Luis Perdomo. D. Gordon in that leadoff spot. The rest of the lineup brought to you by UHealth Sports Medicine.
We get Martin Prado, that 400 average, 4 of 10, but most importantly, yesterday went 4 for 4. Christian Yelich in the 3 spot, Marcell Ozuna in the cleanup spot, with JT Realmuto, Ichiro, and Xavier Scruggs following him. Miguel Rojas will be hitting 8th, and Justin Nicolino hits 9th.
Luis Perdomo, a Rule 5 draft pick, a guy that beat the Marlins earlier this year and was terrific against the Diamondbacks his last start. Beat him 9-1, 1 unearned run in 7 innings. So the Padres feel pretty good about their starter today. Gordon trying to get on base and fouls that one at the plate. A day and a half off, really. The Marlins wanted to give him Friday off. He ended up playing over half that game, and then yesterday he got a day off, appeared as a pinch runner.
There's a team that plays aggressively both in the outfield and in the infield. Look where Rosales is against D. As shallow as any third baseman. San Diego Padres play them there.
Gordon up the middle. That's going to scoot into center field for a hit. And a bit of a dry spell for D, but nice to start the game off with a single to center.
The turnover changeup stays up in the zone. That's one of the reasons why that changeup is designed to stay down in the zone to get the reach. Fortunately for the Padres, Perdomo missed that because you don't want a pitcher sticking that right hand, the throwing hand, out there and get in the way of the ball.
So Gordon is aboard. Prado's at the plate. And Martin Prado has just been terrific. Not only in this series, but all season long. 6 hits in the series, 6 for 8. A couple knocked in. Fastball shuffles the feet of Prado.
Hard fastball in. The time here was a 1-1-6 to the plate. Really quick. If D's going to go, he has to be able to go first move. Very difficult to steal on that fast of a pitcher.
Another fastball in. You can hear the exclamation from Prado in the box. And the count is 2-0. This guy is tough to lift. Perdomo's ground ball fly ball ratio is second best in the big leagues. Only Marcus Stroman of the Blue Jays is better at getting ground balls, which is a red flag certainly with Prado. He's bounced into more double plays than anybody in the National League.
And that's a perfect combination actually with a contact hitter like Martin, even though he's been swinging the bat well, to put the runner in action, move that defense. You know you're going to get a lot of ground balls and stay away from the double play.
Not running, and Prado hits a sharp ground ball to short. There's 1 and there's 2, and there's exactly what we drew up. Defensively, here are the Padres. Southwest Airlines has Alex Dickerson in left, Travis Jankowski in center, Alexei Ramirez in right, Solarte Rosales the corners, Sardinius Schimpf up the middle, and Derek Norris behind the plate. Christian Yelich takes a fastball for a strike. That one is in. The count's 1 ball and 1 strike. Andy Green, Mark McGuire. Green, the Padres manager. McGuire, the bench coach. Breaking ball is a strike. Yelich pulls it on the ground, and that is what Luis Perdomo does. He's a ground ball machine, and he uses 2 to extract himself from the first.
Por West Kendall Toyota.
Back in Miami, Justin Nicolino ready to go back to work. Alex Dickerson first up, and he takes a strike. Ryan Schimpf, Derek Norris also due up. Schimpf has had a really nice series and a great July and August. Nicolino misses away. Dickerson wasn't supposed to play until about a half an hour before game time, when word came that Will Myers was scratched. Dickerson a 1 for 4 in last night's ball game. He's 1 for 8 in the series. If you haven't seen the Padres yet lately, it's a young team made up of some of Padres prospects, some guys that have come over in trades, and a few guys they've taken a chance on. Minor league free agents and such. Little tapper, Nicolino's got it. And Justin Nicolino is saying, hey, look, I know Perdomo gets ground balls. He has 4 of them now in 4 at-bats.
Yeah, the grounds crew for the Marlins, they have their work cut out for them after the game, trying to resod a lot of the grass if this continues. Ball hitting dirt right here. Justin setting his feet nicely, getting the out at first.
Perry Hill at his appointed spot. There's a taped little mark there so that nobody stands in that spot. That way the infielders know exactly where to find him pitch by pitch. And here is Schimpf, who has really just set the National League on fire since arriving. And he sends that one in the gap left center. Yelich closes and can't get it. Dives, got a piece. Schimpf will hold there. And even though Yelich didn't make the catch, that's a tremendous play to keep the ball in front, get back on his feet, and keep the runner at first.
It is, and with all the power numbers that Ryan Schimpf has had in his young career, the outfield respecting his power, they play deep. Yelly going as much as he can with this play, but you're right. Keeping the ball in front of him and keeping Schimpf at first base for the double play situation.
That's a rarity for Schimpf, and that's a single. He's got 44 hits in the big leagues, 32 for extra bases.
He doesn't know Tariq Brock very well at first base.
No, he usually runs right by him.
No, he does.
Here's Derek Norris. Norris, veteran catcher. Nicolino, a peek at Schimpf. Misses down low. Ball and a strike. What are the challenges of throwing the cutter along with a garden variety fastball?
As a hitter, the challenges are simple. You have to be aware of the cutter, the fastball, which is that fastball that he uses inside on you. So once you start cheating in, the rest of the plate opens up. Now for Nicolino, he has to be able to establish in early. He does that. That way it'll be a lot easier the second time around the lineup to go get guys on the outer half of the zone if they don't make the adjustment.
Padres winners last night, 1-0. Frustrating night for the Fish. They had opportunities early. Of course, the Marlins had the big comeback on Friday night, down 6-2 going into the bottom of the 7th.
Good pitch. Try to get Norris to chase. Throw one up in the zone right there and watch Norris's reaction to this right here. This is a 4-seam fastball. Once you feel that locked in, up and in, hitting the spot, some umpires will give it to you, some won't.
Mark Carlson calling balls and strikes. And that one back into the seats. Carlson too, and the other dynamic here is a right-handed bat. When an umpire's in the slot, as they call it, that slot between the hitter and the catcher, if the catcher is really set up in, that kind of squeezes the window for the umpire.
That's why it's good to have a veteran umpire back there. The more you've seen, the more experience, the more you know how to handle that, and Mark Carlson is one of those guys.
You see him right in the slot, and you see it get squeezed. In the air, Scruggs, lots of room, makes the catch. Place your deposit on a 2017 season ticket plan today, and it guarantees you access to the 2017 All-Star Game in Miami. Don't miss your chance to secure seats for this once-in-a-generation event. All the All-Star Week activities at Marlins Park and throughout Miami, especially Miami Beach, South Beach, 1877. Marlins, or go to marlins.com/season tickets.
Can't wait.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Ask any Padre, they'll tell you. And of course, Eduardo, you were in and around and all over the All-Star activities in San Diego this year.
Time of a lifetime. We got to see a lot of things. Woke up early, went to sleep late, sleep deprived, but great reason. Get to see the stars in action and the fans.
Here's Rosales, and he swings and misses. Of course, Giancarlo Stanton winning that home run derby.
I had the best bucket seat to see Giancarlo Stanton hit. It was amazing. I was sitting right there, closer than anyone, probably closer than the cameras, where the bucket almost gave out on me. Scary thought. They were waiting for it to give out. I fortunately got up before. I might have to send you that picture. Might have to show it to production. It's pretty cool.
Stanton continuing his work and road back from that severe groin injury. Marlins are hopeful, and so is Stanton, that late September has him back, but it's a real challenge and a race against the clock. 0-2. And one of the challenges for a guy like Stanton, for a guy like Bohr, even if Adam Conley starts it up in September, is the minor leagues shut down. Their seasons finish after the first week of September. So finding a place to play rehab games is problematic sometimes. Rosales works the count even at 2-2. Nicolino making an emergency start here. Andrew Kashner with the blister issue. Juan Nieves was talking earlier about the mindset of Nicolino, and that, hey, this is a great opportunity. Pitching down in AAA, now a chance to get up. All the stuff he's been working on in the minor leagues, now's a chance to try to put it in action and put it in play in the big leagues. To right, that's Ichiro out there. Back he goes and makes a catch shy of the track. Padres get a hit, leave that runner. Brings you the scouting report on Luis Perdomo.
Oh, not even legal. What does that mean? When he signed with the Cardinals at the age of 17 in 2010 from the Dominican Republic, not legal here, but legal, yes, over there to sign after the age of 16. Basic tools, high 90 fastballs, but it's a two-seam fastball with a lot of action. You'll see a lot of ground ball, and he's had fish. What does that mean? Well, he did beat the Marlins 6-3 on June 15th. In San Diego earlier this season.
Marcell Ozuna, JT Realmuto, and then Ichiro against Perdomo. And Ozuna pulls that one foul.
And you said the key word, pulls that. Pitch was outside outer half. They're taking a lot of velocity away from Marcell. They're pitching him down and away, and he's ending up in the trap.
Shoots that one up the middle. Sardinhas gets there, and on to first he goes.
And that's the trap, the ground ball to shortstop. We saw it yesterday. We've seen it a lot in the Pittsburgh series. This pitch misses out over the plate, but the action of the two-seam late gets the top half of the ball with it, grounding it again.
Now Realmuto. JT 1 for 5 in the series. His average above 300 at 303. As the Marlins try to find somebody in that 5 spot that provides some pop and some protection for Ozuna. You got Ichiro behind Realmuto. Ball and a strike. 2-1. The Rule 5 draft, and some fans are aware of it. Dan Uggla was the Rule 5 draft, and that worked out well for the Marlins. Is a player that's not protected on a 40-man roster that another team is able to draft, a guy that's been in the minor leagues for some time. And Perdomo was one of those guys. He wasn't protected by the Cardinals. And that allows any team in baseball to select him in that draft. Here's the 2-2. It's fouled off. So the deal is this, though. You have to spend $50,000. You send that check to the team. You get the player. The trick is this, though. Once you get that player, he has to be on your major league roster the entire season. And if he isn't, you have to offer him back to the original team. There's a shot into center field. That might be extra bases. With the shift, Real Muto will get himself to second. And again, that Padres shift with Jankowski over in right center allows extra bases for Real Muto.
And I'll let you continue your story, but again, this right here, pitch out over the plate, the two-seamer, give JT a lot of credit, staying inside the baseball after fouling one off his foot, showing no signs of problems with his leg, hustles to second base on a ball that should be a routine single. Nicely done, way to hustle, JT.
Here comes Ichiro.
Now you can offer him back after putting the $50,000. Is it 25?
Yep.
For half the price, right?
But the trick with Perdomo was it was the Rockies that drafted him in the Rule 5 draft, and then the Padres acquired him from the Rockies a few days later. And so Perdomo, who has never pitched above Single-A, found himself in a major league starting rotation for Andy Green and the Padres. And teams that are rebuilding can take that chance with the player, and it's worked out for the Padres. Perdomo's had some really nice moments in the rotation. A young arm, just 23 years old. Ichiro pulls the ground ball out towards second. And he's out by a step. Schimpf throws him out. Real Muto's at third, but there's 2 outs, and here comes Scruggs. So the Real Muto ball is the only ball hit in the air. And obviously it wasn't hit very high in the air, but everything else has been on the ground against Perdomo.
I think this is a good matchup right now for the Marlins. Xavier Scruggs, low ball hitter. Perdomo has to keep the ball down with that two-seamer.
Line drive base hit. Scruggs, and that's in the gap as well. It's going to roll to the wall. Scruggs on his way to second, and he's there with a double. And Miami has their first run.
I like the aggressiveness of Xavier Scruggs, keeping the ball up the middle. Watch the two-seamer down in the zone, right in his wheelhouse. Dead low ball hitter, able to get the barrel to it. No chance for Sardinas to make a play. Next thing you know, you get players switching positions at second base. 1 at third. Here we go. Marlins up 1-0.
Miguel Rojas now. And for Scruggs, the third run he's driven in as a Marlin. Rojas 0 for 2 in this series. Perdomo bends one outside. 2 balls very similar. The Real Muto and the Scruggs doubles, both liners in that left center gap, which has closed a little bit. Jankowski, the center fielder, not as far over in right center against Miguel Rojas.
Well, preseason football almost over. Jankowski's already, if you look at him as a running back, he's already rushed over 100 yards. out there in center field.
Yes.
Going after balls in the gap. He's like, forget this. I'm playing a little bit more up the middle now.
Yeah, from right center and racing into left center. That was a factor on Friday night for sure. On a couple balls hit the left center, and then that outfield that was so tight and so close on the Chris Johnson ball turned into a game-winning double. Rojas with the count 1-2. Long wait by Perdomo, too long for Rojas. And now a visit from Norris, possibly the signs coming in from the catcher out to the pitcher. Padres want to make sure they're on the same page with Scruggs, the runner, at second.
Well, it's not about changing signs with that runner at second because the middle infielders never move. They stayed back there. I would always love when there's a runner at second base, middle infielders to also join in. Just in case it's about switching the signs.
Ball in the dirt, and Scruggs is going to get to third. Speaking of changing signs, you would think the Marlins did that last night, because Oswaldo Arcia was a Marlin this week and is now a Padre this weekend.
I don't think they did. He was here for a couple days. I get what you're saying, but now he has to remember the Padres signs. Maybe they did, but Oswaldo's not a guy that's going to bunt. If he was going to get reach base, most likely he was going to get pinch run for. I don't think he knew a lot of the signs. Now, if it's a smaller guy, a guy that does hit and runs, does all of that, Oswaldo's more of a station-to-station guy.
All right. That's strike three called. Breaking ball, Rojas shaking his head. And it was a strike right on the inside corner. Good pitch by Perdomo. Miami's on the board.
Nothing Miami as we go to the top of the third. I'm Craig Minervini, and it is great to be with Danelle Leyva, who not only won, but two of these beautiful silver heavy medals from Rio. Miami, and congratulations, Danelle, and what a neat thing to go to Rio, represent your country, and come back with two medals.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience, honestly. It was phenomenal. The people there were great. The everything was set up beautifully, and obviously Rio is beautiful.
Yeah, high bar, parallel bars. Miamian, born in Cuba though originally. Yep. Where did your passion for gymnastics take off?
It was a video that my parents were watching when I was like I was like 3 years old, and I didn't know what it was, but I was like, I don't know what that is, and I want to do that because it kind of looked like everybody was flying, and I feel like that's why I wanted to do it.
And to go on the top, you won the bronze last time, so to come back with, and by the way, these are incredibly heavy.
Yeah.
To come back with 2 silver medals, one of the most decorated now gymnasts of all time for U.S. men. How neat was that for you?
It's incredible. It's an amazing honor, honestly. And yeah, these are the heaviest Olympic medals ever. Actually, they're 500 grams, so like 1.2 pounds. Yeah, they're heavy.
I can remember from Misty May Trainer that there was something. I mean, your neck could literally be turned over. Marlin fan too. You enjoyed watching the 03 champs. You enjoyed rooting on the Fish.
Yeah, the home team. You know, you kind of have to root for them. You know, I grew up watching them. I remember when they won in 03. It was intense. It was an amazing, beautiful experience. Yeah.
You got a chance to throw out the first pitch with Sam Dorman, who's here, also a medalist in synchronized diving for the United States. How about that opportunity?
That's awesome. Yeah, I got to meet Sam in Rio, obviously, and it's great. You know, everybody, regardless of the sport, regardless of the country, everybody's incredibly nice because we're all there for the same thing. You know, common denominator, which is sport, and it's great. It's a great experience.
What would the judge give your score today? Would the Romanian judge or the Russian judge be impressed with that score of your first pitch?
If they had to judge my first pitch, I don't know if it would be completely disqualified because like I got it to the plate, but it did go completely sideways.
So maybe you're not bringing home one of these, is what you're saying?
No, definitely not. I didn't even make the finals.
All right, next up is the Kellogg Tour of Champions that the gymnasts will do from both the men's and women's team for a couple of months. So nothing in South Florida. You'll be over in Tampa. Yep. Where else? Are you going all over the country?
Yeah, all over the country. LA, New York, honestly everywhere.
Do you look forward to that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the first time I'm actually gonna do it, and it's a lot of fun. It's just kind of like showing off the skills and dancing and having like a great time and
there's pressure.
Yeah, there's no pressure, and interacting with the crowd, and it's great.
All right, that's October 30th. I know in Tampa. You can look online, find out when they're going to be around. Thanks a lot, Danielle, and your family here, and congratulations. It's an honor for you to be representing the U.S. and win a couple of medals. Great job.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys.
All right, thank you. Great stories.
Could Craig return that gold, the silver medal back to my man? There we go. That's a lot better. There we go. That was heavy. You gotta ice that neck down.
That's right. No problem for a gymnast, though. Luis Perdomo with the bunt, moving up Luis Sardinas. It's the top of the order now for the Padres. Travis Jankowski. The runner at second and 1 out. Justin Nicolino misses in. If you're just joining us, this was to be Andrew Cashner's start. Former Padre. Marlins acquired him a few weeks ago. The blister on his finger apparently troublesome and will not make this start. Nicolino called up from New Orleans and so far has pitched well. His breaking ball misses in to the leadoff hitter, the Padres. Fish and Padres have split this 3-game series so far. In the first 2, Miami a comeback win Friday. Padres a 1-0 win last night. Xavier Scruggs RBI double. The difference in the game right now. That dots the corner, and it's 2-1. And in a season of getting to see some of their young players get their first taste of the big leagues, Jankowski did get to 34 games last year, but a chance to play every day. I think he's shown a lot of nice things, a lot of promise. Two. Fastball, jab shot, Rojas sliding, throwing, and safe. What a play, though, by Miguel Rojas at short. Scruggs stretched and picked it. But Jankowski can run, and he got down the line quickly.
Best part about this play is him keeping it in the infield. You keep Sardinas there at second base, 180 feet away. Great play, athletic play. Jankowski beating it out. Great base running also by Sardinas, staying at second base. All around, that's quality baseball.
So 2 hits in the inning. Alexei Ramirez now. Padres right fielder. That's right. Alexei Ramirez out in right. Off his hands, Ozuna in and makes a running catch. So there's 2 outs, and here's a reminder. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Marlins, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Miami Marlins. Solarte and Sardinas are the switch hitters in San Diego's lineup. And he pops it up. Ichiro in and there and makes the catch. And Justin Nicolino up from New Orleans has got 3 shutout innings. It's up 1-0, bottom 3rd. Tomorrow night in New York, big night for the Fish. It's a Jose starts. Jessica Blaylock will be live from Citi Fields. South Florida Honda dealers proud to present Marlins Live. It's a 4-game series, an enormous 4-game series. Rafael Montero will start for the Mets. In fact, as things shake out, Nicolino standing in. The Marlins are going to miss Jacob deGrom. The Mets are going to skip him a start, and it seems like, at least for now, Noah Syndergaard, who was scheduled tentatively on Thursday. There's a line drive into center field. How about Nicolino?
Luis Perdomo better watch out with that hand. Twice already today. He has tried to put that throwing hand in the way. Watch it just appear on your screen. Right off the right side, a little bit late. Watch this angle. Whoa, where are you going with that? It's a nice shot by Justin.
That's only the second hit in Nicolino's career. That one foul back. Excuse me, second hit this year, third hit in his career.
This is a good opportunity right now for D. Gordon, even on an 0-1 count, to try to drag bunt one towards first base. Dongarvis Solarte, usually a third baseman, not used to being at first base. Second baseman playing at double play depth. Good opportunity.
Gordon takes in. On a pitch that looked like it clipped the corner. The count's 1 ball and 1 strike. Single back in the first. With Nicolino at first, you got Prado, Yelich, Ozuna lined up behind Gordon. Busy Sunday in Major League Baseball. And the Mets have jumped out to a 1-0 lead over the Phillies. The Mets and the Pirates are heating up. The Pirates actually have caught the Marlins, tied in the wild card standings. Both teams are a game and a half behind St. Louis. Cardinals have Oakland this afternoon. Oakland beat the Cardinals last night. Three and 1 to D. Gordon. At the knees.
Good take. Good takedown. Pitchers at first base. This is a prime situation to have the runner at first base going. Contact pitcher like Perdomo. But it's the pitcher at first base, and you have a guy at the plate that is not a double play candidate.
He hits one hard though, and that is a double play. And that's the second that Perdomo has rolled in the ball game.
Well, that's been his best friend the entire season. Perdomo going to that sinker ball. He does not panic when he has runners in at first base, knowing that all he has to do is induce contact. The trick, keep the ball down. He does that. D falls right into the trap, pulls it, and you get 2 out of it.
Martin Prado hit a sharp ground ball to Sardinas out at short for a double play in the first. Prado at home this year, right about 400. Third best in the National League at home. Only DJ LeMahieu and Joey Votto are better. And of course, the environment that they hit in at home is a little different than Miami.
Way different.
Cincinnati, and of course, Denver, Colorado. Chopper to third. Rosales backhands. Fires across the diamond. Another double play cleans up an inning for Luis Perdomo on a Sunday here in Miami. That's a lively group.
Oh yeah, they're having fun.
Look at that, bright faces. It's got to be a birthday, right?
Yeah, it's a birthday. I wish I had one of my. I wish I had my birthday celebrated there. Can we do that?
Yeah, if you know the right people. I mean, and I think you do. I mean, call your dad.
I mean, September 11th. I mean, figure it's a Sunday fun day also. We could just do the broadcast from down there, can't we?
We could get the. We could get Tutti Frutti, the clown. I know he's usually here on a Sunday. He'd be happy to tie off a few balloon animals for you.
You know who I'd love to invite down? Personal friend of yours?
I thought you were going to say me, but that's okay.
No, there's Tutti Frutti. There he is. Oh, I'd love that. Neither of those is me,
that's
though.
Jeff Conine.
Yeah, that's not me.
Hello. How you doing, man? Good? All right.
How can you tell it's not me?
Liner to right off the bat of Dickerson. One hops over the wall. That's going to be a double. And the Padres have their cleanup hitter on to lead off the fourth inning. Ryan Schimpf, Derek Norris, Adam Rosales now to follow. Justin Nicolino pitched out of trouble in the third. He's got a little bit going here.
Yeah, that's a changeup going down and in. Justin lucky that Dickerson didn't really elevate this ball. This ball could have been hit as a home run. That's a dangerous pitch to throw. Changeup on the inside part to a left-handed hitter.
Schimpf trying to pull a ball and move the runner from second to third. He's pretty good at pulling the ball. He's pulled 2 home runs out of here on Friday and Saturday.
That was a fastball down in the zone. Urania knows it. That's where Jose pitches effectively down in the zone, except Ryan Schimpf beat him to that position.
Schimpf drives that one left center field. Ozuna in full flight at the track. It's off the wall and it bounces by Ozuna. Around third is Dickerson. Schimpf is headed for third and he's there.
Wow.
And it's that guy again, Ryan Schimpf.
Wow. That's all you have to say. He's all smiles. This is a pitch. Out over the plate. Doesn't try to pull it and just barrels it. He's finding barrel a lot. You had mentioned all the extra base hits that he's had this season. That's the area in left center field where you don't know where the ball's going to bounce. Marcel gets close to the wall and now that double's extended to a triple.
Derek Norris now with the infield back and nobody out. Now it's 1-1. Padres with a great opportunity to make it 2-1. This is second time through for the Padres against Justin Nicolino.
Well, the first time through, it was all ground balls at the beginning. All of a sudden, the guys that hit the ground balls are now hitting the fly ball outs and the double and the triple. Derek Norris was pitched hard in last time up. Let's see how the adjustment is made.
Popped him up behind first. Runner is tagging. It's Gordon who makes the catch. Spins and fires home. Schimpf will hold at third. So Nicolino has the first out.
Now the decisions for Don Mattingly to play the infield in or back. Most likely the corners will be in.
Job by JT Realmuto to smother that ball as it came in from shallow right. The entire infield right now looking into the dugout just to see.
Yeah, with one out you play in, try to get this out, and you walk Sardinhas if you're able to get the out and go after Perdomo. Don Mattingly this season, not shy in giving intentional walks.
Rosales, fly ball to right. Pops that one towards the dugout, and Nicolino, the guy giving chase. It's a couple rows in.
Prado didn't even move. He knew from the get-go.
No walks and no strikeouts for Justin Nicolino.
One thing Justin's done really well is establish inside. You saw it on Norris, you saw it right there, Rosales. He needs that to be effective.
Hard smash, runner comes home. Rojas throw, Real Muto in the rundown. Schimpf is tagged out. And the Marlins cut off the run. That's a big play.
That's a huge play, and not panicking at all by Rojas at shortstop. Watch him drop down right here. Makes a nice throw. JT running Schimpf back to third base. Gets it close enough. Martin holding position. Nicely cutting off the distance perfectly. This play is made, and the most important part, you keep Rosales at first base.
I think what you heard was Schimpf, who was running, as you could see, with the ball off the bat, and then realized it was right at Rojas. Now Sardinas, he's been a pain in the neck this series. He's got 4 hits, 7 at bats, a home run, and 4 RBIs.
This is where you can try to be perfect on the corners. If you lose them, fine. Don't have to throw anything up in the zone.
Oh, 0-2.
See where Martin Prado is. He's playing no doubles in this situation. Perdomo with 2 outs. You have Perdomo on deck. They're not going to pinch hit for him. So you want to prevent anything hitting the gaps. Play your outfield a little bit deeper. You play a third baseman on the line, preventing the no double situation.
Runner goes, pitch is high. Real Muto's throw is close. A stolen base.
Andy Green now has put Don Mattingly in a little pickle right here. Counts 1-2. Good jump by Rosales. Now the Marlins have a choice to make. They're going to pitch to Sardinas, and rightfully so. D catching the ball out in front. That's close right there. Really close at second base. Yeah, the pitcher on deck. Now you have the runner in scoring position. Too close for comfort to try to contest it.
Liner into right center, and the Padres are going to pick that run up. Ozuna has it, and Sardinas continues to hurt the Marlins. He's into second base, and that's the gamble. And here comes the pitcher, Perdomo.
Well, you talk about manufacturing runs. Andy Green just manufactured a run by stealing second base and making the Marlins decide what they want to do with Sardinas. Aggressive managing by Andy Green, knowing his personnel. Great jump by Rosales to get to second base. Nice secondary. He's going on contact. Sardinas just tearing it up right now.
So Nicolino seemingly had put himself in a spot to escape with just the one run. But a two-strike pitch that Sardinas liked.
Too good. Too good of a pitch. The pitch was right down the middle.
To right, and it's Ichiro who makes the catch, but San Diego puts 2 on the board and leads it 2-1. Brought to you by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica. By Checkers, fast foodies know the deal. And by Coral Springs Auto Mall, across from the Coral Square Mall. We make it easy. On a Sunday in Miami, all is calm in the Magic City. Let's hope it stays that way for the next few days. Right now, the Marlins are having trouble figuring out Luis Perdomo, a ground ball master. Has used a couple of ground balls that turned into double plays to help himself out of innings. And he holds a 2-1 lead over Miami. Here is Yelich with Ozuna and Real Muto scheduled.
The MO on sinker ballers, the more you allow them to get comfortable on that mound, the more trust they have in that sinker, the more tired they get, and the more action it gets late. And keep that ball down, it works for them. Perdomo, as a type of guy, a sinker baller, you have to be able to get early before he establishes that comfort zone.
Breaking ball in, and it's pulled. They count 1-2 to Yelich. D. Gordon single and doubles by Real Muto and Xavier Scruggs. Nicolino single, and that's it. Yelich sends that one down the left field line. Dickerson over, and in foul territory makes the catch. Remember, Perdomo, his last time out was super. The best start of his young major league career was against Arizona. 7 innings, a run, and it was unearned. No walks and 5 strikeouts. Ozuna cracks one to left. Dickerson at the knees makes the catch. Well struck by Ozuna, but Perdomo is sitting on the mound now with 2 outs and nobody on. JT's double was a liner in the gap in left center field. Marlins head to New York. Night games, 4 of them starting on Monday. And then a weekend series in Cleveland. Realmuto shorts the bunt. Adam Rosales isn't buying it at third. Hasn't adjusted at all.
Well, missed his location, but not in the Fox tracks. You watch how Derek Norris caught that ball. He wanted it outside. Mark Carlson did not give it to him. Penalized him for missing spots. Big question you have yourself at home.
Tapper to third. Rosales up with it and got him. 8 pitches for Perdomo. 2-1 San Diego. Toyota give you an inside look. Where were they last year? Where are they now? When you take a snapshot of major league teams, the Marlins have the largest increase in winning percentage. Behind them, Boston, the Tigers, the Nationals, and the Phillies. One of our younger camera operators on break.
I like it.
Don Mattingly and the Marlins down a run. Now this is 3rd time through for San Diego. First time through, Justin Nicolino kind of sailed through 3 innings with lots of ground ball outs. But in the 4th, he ran into trouble. Double by Dickerson. Schimpf, another big hit, RBI triple. And then that Sardinius 2-strike, 2-out single into right center field to make it 2-1. And Jankowski rips one to right. The 2nd time that Jankowski's been on. Unlock access to the postseason. Purchase tickets to 10 remaining home games this year, and you'll get priority access to postseason ticket strips. Packages start at $250. Go to marlins.com/postseason pack. Time called.
Biggest concern for the Marlins right now. San Diego, last 3 innings, have had their leadoff hitter on. Alexei Ramirez, a good hit and run candidate also.
Pitch is out. Jankowski at first. Remember, the stolen base by Rosales is enormous right now with 2 outs and Sardinas at the plate. For Alexei Ramirez, it's hard not to say his name and give it the Hawk Harrelson. Alexei! But those days are gone. He's now a Padre. .34-year-old Cuban drives it left center field. That's a long run. Ozuna is there, and he makes the catch. Hung up just enough.
Hit it off right at the end of the bat a little bit. Fortunately for the Marlins, they're not playing that drastic shift like San Diego is, giving Marcell a chance to make that play.
You know, we had the Olympians on with Craig earlier. They all had silver medals. Alexei Ramirez has got a gold medal back in 2004.
Is that Greece? I want to say it was. Last year the Olympics, baseball will have will be in the Olympics again in Tokyo 2020.
Yangervis Solarte, the Venezuelan. Solarte's 0 for 2. Phillies have tied the Mets up a run apiece. We'll be there tomorrow night, 6:30. Jessica Blaylock live from Citi Field. Jose Fernandez gets the start. Bouncer to third. Prado. Gordon. Great feed. And a hard slide, too, at second. Nicely done by D. Gordon. He was under some pressure. 2-1 San Diego. Note that play at second on the turn by Gordon doesn't come into play because the Marlins turned the double play, but watch the slide.
Remember, new rules, you have to go straight into the bag, slide to the bag. That roll right there, if D threw it away, would have given an opportunity to Clint Fagan, the second base umpire, to call obstruction on it.
And it's that roll, that pop-up that gets above the knee of an infielder.
I don't see anything wrong with it.
I don't either.
I think that's baseball, and the way Jankowski played it is superb. Now, the rules specify that you have to slide into the bag and not roll over with it. And that's where that decision would have lied on Clint Fagan, and Don Mattingly would have had a question on that just in case it would have happened. It would have interfered on that throw.
Ichiro at the plate. See, he's sitting on 3,009. That also is a reviewable play, so New York would have had a chance to chime in. But I'm with you. I don't see anything wrong with it. I'm just saying by rule of law this year, that probably is flagged. Ichiro walks, and so he lays down the bat on his way to first. That Mizuno bat that Ichiro has been using throughout his career is certainly a special one, and you can get one of those in a commemorative bat offer. That's on the 25th of September at 1 o'clock on a Sunday. The Marlins will recognize Ichiro's 3,000 hits. Special event ticket gets you one of 3,000 limited edition full-size Mizuno Ichiro bats. Terms and conditions, go to marlins.com/Ichiro. Now Scruggs. RBI double. Fastball for a strike.
This is where Perdomo bears down, knows he has that double play pitch in his pocket. Xavier already, as you said, had that double earlier. Good low ball hitter. Ichiro, good runner.
Rojas on deck, and then Nicolino's spot. Perfect pitches. Both of them right there, one on top of the other.
That's where Pittsburgh started pitching him also hard in. Anything down is where he really capitalizes on. Let's see what Perdomo does here.
Ichiro away from first. That heavy sinker. 1-2. Scruggs, of course, getting a chance to play. The injury to Justin Bohr. Even Derek Dietrich on the disabled list. That one way out in front of the plate. Norris got a piece of it. Ichiro holding first.
Spike this one on the ground and see if he can get Xavier to chase. Did not. Ichiro didn't get a good jump on the secondary right there. Could not get the second. Watch right here. He crosses over instead of shuffling. That's the way he's done it his entire career.
Scruggs up the middle, base hit. Ichiro around second. And Jankowski gets to it and holds Ichiro at second, and Scruggs is 2 for 2.
Now Don Mattingly has a decision to make with his bullpen. You get that base hit, you have runners at first and second. Rojas coming up to hit. Last time struck out looking. Justin Nicolino will be on deck. Bullpen still no action in the pen.
Padres with a conference. Darren Balsley, who helped teach that sinker to Perdomo. Padre pitching coach on his way back to the dugout. So there's Nicolino, and the telltale sign is no one's throwing in the bullpen for Miami, which means if Perdomo is able to navigate safely through Rojas, he's got Nicolino to face.
There you have the pen, nothing there, no action whatsoever yet.
See Nick Wickren up and starting to stretch a little bit. Let's see how Rojas approaches the at-bat. Ground ball at short, out there. The turn by Schimpf, and it's out there. And the Marlins bounce into their third double play of the ball game.
No panic whatsoever by any of the infielders. Schimpf was working on this play 2 days ago, and again today early in practice. You get the double play. And Justin Nicolino will be hitting for himself.
So that's 3 today, and here's Nicolino, who singled back in the third. And Ichiro standing at third base. Right. Boy, first and second, nobody out.
Let's see if Justin can help out himself. Last time, good line drive right up the middle. Caught Luis Perdomo's attention.
Little roller up first, and Perdomo has it, tags him out, and a promising start fizzles for the Fish in the fifth. 2-1 still, San Diego. Presenting sponsor of Miami Marlins baseball. Geico presents this day in Marlins history. Jesus Taveras becomes the first Marlin with 2 triples in a game. That was in 1995. On this date, in this year in Marlins history, the Fish are frustrated. 3 double plays against sinker ball specialist Luis Perdomo. Justin Nicolino finds himself on the other end of a 2-1 Padres lead. Padres running game that put them in position to score their second run. That steal by Adam Rosales against Nicolino in the fourth. Luis Sardinas and then knock him home on a 1-2 pitch. That's the difference in the game right now. Dickerson doubled to start that inning and scored on the triple by Ryan Schimpf. It was obvious that Don Mattingly wanted more than just the 5 innings out of Nicolino. Bullpen didn't budge in that spot with Nicolino due up in the middle of an uprising. As it was, Rojas's double play ball put Nicolino at the plate with a runner at third and 2 outs. Soft fly ball to left. Yelich is in. He makes a catch. A tour of the wild card standings and who's playing and how they're doing. Cardinals are down. Oakland got 2 in the first. It's bottom first, 2-0. Oakland in St. Louis. That's good news for both Miami and Pittsburgh and the Mets, because all 3 are trailing the Cardinals for that second wild card spot. Here is Schimpf. Eduardo, you hear from a pitcher that throws 97-98 with little effort that it's an easy 97-98. With Schimpf, it looks like easy power. He's not a guy, I mean, when I watch the highlights of his 2 home runs in this series, or even the triple, it's not a big violent swing. It's short, smooth, and almost easy. That one fouled back, and the ball just jumps off his bat at 5'9", 180.
But what he does well is keeps that bat head in the zone a long time. Doesn't panic whatsoever. It reminds me a lot of the guy you see in the background right there, their bench coach, Mark McGuire, when it comes to taking deep breaths, visualizing what he wants to do. I played with McGuire in St. Louis, and he took everything to the extreme. You see him very paused. Schimpf from the left side, McGuire obviously from the right side. A lot bigger, but short, quick through the zone. When you look at that stance, if you flip it over towards the right side, it looks very McGuire-esque. Hands in the same position, feet in the same position, and quiet at the plate, but yet quick, short. McGuire ended up with 583 career home runs.
Oh. Well, Schimpf is just getting started.
Yeah.
And you know, the amazing thing, and we had the stat at the start of the series that went off of his knee, it looked like, and that was the number of hits he's had to start his major league career and all the extra base hits he's had. And he's done it again here with a triple and a single. He's got 2 home runs in the series. So 45 hits to start his career. 33 are for extra bases. 16 homers, 4 triples included. It hit him in the forearm.
Right there, you see the nick on the left forearm. I've always said that if a hitter gets hit, yet the catcher catches it, it should just go as a ball. He didn't get hit that hard. That means his hands were a little bit, or his shirt was a little bit in the zone area. What do you think?
I don't mind that.
It's getting hit. You don't buy it? I like that.
I don't mind that. I mean, I'm.
Oh, okay. You don't mind
No,
it?
I don't mind it. So your thought is that the catcher actually catches the ball. If it just nicks the hitter's arm.
Nicks the hitter. It'll really take a lot of the questions away from, was it a hit by pitch or not? You know what? It doesn't matter. The catcher caught it. If you want to accelerate the game, that's one way of doing it.
Well, I don't know that it would accelerate the game that much. I mean, it only happens once every 3 or 4 games where,
Right, but
a
it
catcher
does.
catches it.
You're right, but it does, because now you put the runner on first. That's one less out, for example, or one less, a couple more pitches you have with other guys. Different strategy. Throws over to first.
Here's a 1-1. What other ideas do you have to stir up the game?
Oh, okay. You want to go there?
Well, you open the door. I got to walk in.
Well, I think the bullpens, before they used to be on the sides.
Right.
Now they're way out there, and they're trying to get the pitchers to run in. I think there has to be an expedited way to get those pitchers on the mound and shorten up the amount of throws that they make from the bullpen to the mound.
So you're going the Tom Berenger way, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You want those little bullpen carts that he drove after the girl.
Advertising, baby. I'm already doing an advertisement business
through
here.
the streets of Cleveland. That's what you're into. I like that. I like the little bullpen carts.
You do it quick, in and out, and at the same time, instead of what, 8 pitches they get, shorten it up to 6. They're already loose in the pen, aren't they? How many pitches do they need to be introduced to the mound on the field?
Part of the 8-pitch limit is for a pitcher to get acclimated to the game mound, which is different than the bullpen mound. But I'm with you. I like the idea. I like the idea of getting the guy in faster. Three-2 to Norris. Runner goes. Ball in the air. And out goes Rojas. In comes Yelich. Rojas squares up, makes a catch.
Well, Derek Norris is going for the pop-up cycle. Popped up to the first baseman, first at-bat, to the second baseman, the second at-bat, and this time to the shortstop. All he needs is Martin Prado to get the infielders going. What do you think about that, partner?
My guess is that's even more rare in baseball than hitting for the actual cycle. And I don't know that our baseball research staff will be able to find it, but I like it. Here's Rosales. Ball in the dirt, and it kicks away from Real Muto, and it goes to the screen.
That's a big one. Now you put the runner in scoring position with 2 outs. You saw what happened in the 4th inning with Sardinhas already. You don't want that. You would rather have 2 base hits and count for a run. That's the ball that JT has to get in front of. Cannot assume that it's not going to hit the dirt.
Pitch missed in. Now, some have said maybe limit the number of visits by a catcher to the mound in the course of an inning.
I would actually limit the amount of visits from a coach or a manager just to 2 for a pitcher for the entire game.
Good changeup.
It's Justin Nicolino. Coaching staff, including Don Manley, has 2 visits only. Good changeup right here, but 2 visits only to get to that pitcher. Then the next pitcher only gets that 1 visit. Anybody that comes from the bullpen will get that 1 visit. Just changing it up. Catchers 2 visit per game.
It's 3-1. And you thought as well that there should have been a visit once the count got to 1-2. Once Rosales stole second in the 4th,
That's when you need those visits. One of the reasons Luis Sardinas had a 1-2 count at that time, that's where you want him to chase out of the zone. You don't want to make a pitch over the plate.
Rosales pulls that one foul. Nick Wickren is up in Miami's pen. I think the problem you might have, Eduardo, is in these new ballparks, where would you park the little bullpen car?
I know, that's an issue.
That's all right.
You're right. It's an
not
issue.
Not insurmountable, I'm sure.
No.
I'm sure engineers in Major League Baseball offices on Park Avenue could figure it out. Here's the 3-2. Changeup hit hard into left field. Charging is Yelich. Round third. Here comes Schimpf. Throw to the plate is not in time. And once again, the Padres cash in on a runner at second with 2 outs. And it's 3-1.
Well, Nicolino went 3-1 changeup. Rosales missed it with a big swing. Repeated the same pitch. Another 3-1 changeup, same location. This time Adam Rosales justifying why he's at this level at the big leagues, making the adjustment. Christian doing his best to get that ball in, but most importantly, Rosales takes second on the throw, and now Nicolino walks Sardinas to put runners at first and second to face Luis Perdomo.
So Perdomo, who has a sacrifice and has flied out, will get an at bat here. But give the Padres credit. They have scratched and clawed. That stolen base in the fourth by Rosales was huge. The wild pitch here was enormous. It sent Schimpf into scoring position. Nicolino at 95 pitches. Wickren is ready. .27 pitches this inning. Oh, and 1. Mets still knotted up with the Phillies 1-1, bottom 5. Oakland 2-1 over St. Louis, bottom 2. Pittsburgh scoreless in Milwaukee, bottom 3. Those are the particulars right now in that wild card chase bunched together. The Marlins and the Pirates tied. A game and a half behind St. Louis. Cardinals have that second spot. And the Mets are hot. They are just a game behind Miami and Pittsburgh. 0-2. Foul tip, and that's off of Real Muto. Rosales at second, Sardinas at first. See how far that missed in. Rojas to Gordon in time, inning over, but another 2-out hit To drive in a run, it's 3-1 San Diego. Miami, this has derailed the offense today. That is first inning. Double play. Luis Perdomo. That's third inning. Double play. And then in the fifth with runners first and second, that was a double play. That's one of the main reasons Miami is trailing in this ball game 3-1. Rich Waltz, Eduardo Perez, Craig Minervini. So, Eduardo Perez, in light of what you've seen from those 3 double plays, how do you avoid those?
You recognize who that guy is on the mound. Only behind Marcus Stroman in all of baseball when it comes to inducing the ground ball. If you do that, how do you counter it? Well, some say you can bunt, some say you can hit and run a lot with a pitcher like this, and that's one of the things, and a lot of things that teams do. Hit and run against him, put the defense in motion, make it uncomfortable because you know he's not a swing and miss guy. Only has 1 strikeout on the night, on the day, and that was a strikeout looking. He induces contact.
And you had his time to home plate at less than 1.2, which makes
it 1.16 at the time.
Makes it really tough on base stealers, but that doesn't prevent you from hitting and running.
Right, and that's how you counter all that. He can be as fast as he wants. He doesn't have that swing and miss pitch. That's a close pitch right there. That could have been called a strike. Where's that on the Fox tracks? Right there, kissing the inside part. Is it?
It's a good take by D. Gordon.
Great take.
That's also a good take.
And because he's not a strikeout guy, D right here, down 2, should take right now. 3-1. Try to get on base any which way. Perdomo now going around the lineup for the 3rd time.
Padres bullpen is quiet. This is just his 68th pitch. And Gordon walks. Okay, so we watched the double play backs. Does the score factor into what you can do at this point?
No, it should not. Because you guarantee that Prado's going to come up again, and all the guys that are coming up this inning will come at least in the 9th inning. You want to be able to stay away from that double play. If he's that quick to the plate, you guys at home, take the timer. It's as soon as Perdomo moves his leg, lifts his leg, to the time the catcher receives the ball or contact is made, and you click again. It's around 116 to 17.
Gordon bluffs. Fastball for a strike.
good way to counter it for Martin Prado. We've seen it all season. Remember, we talked about that scissor kick, the great ability of going to right field. Right now, the defense is playing straight up. They're not even playing him to shift to right field. Why do I say the scissor kick? Because that's the way to prevent from rolling over on the ground. You can hit that ball to right center field, right field. Look at that hole right in this area right here.
You know, curiously, look at that shot there and look how straight up Jankowski is in center field. That's a change.
Right. The other day he was in right center.
Breaking ball for a strike. 0-2.
Well, the other day, Jankowski was right here, right fielder was right here. The way Martin is hit, they realize one thing. This guy's just a professional hitter. He's one of the elite hitters. You can't defend that. Play straight up.
Gordon is chased back. Prado, with 2 strikes, has more hits than anybody in baseball. 72 of them. As we illustrated earlier, he's bounced into 19 double plays now. That's tops in the National League. Gordon increases his lead. Prado pulls it foul. You see that heavy sink action, and that's why Perdomo gets so many ground balls. I mentioned Marcus Stroman. Only he has a better ground ball ratio. 0-2. Into the bat, and it rolls foul.
And this is why it's given Martin a tough time. He's been pounding that 2-seamer in. You see how Martin opens up right there. The hips fly, the hands stay back, and he's able to hit the end of the ball with it.
Miami having trouble finding offense. Lifts that one to left, and Dickerson is back and makes the catch. The Marlins have been without Giancarlo Stanton now for 13 games. They're 7-6 in those games, but what has dropped off dramatically is their slugging percentage. And whether it's the absence of Stanton, whether it's his protection for guys like Ozuna and Yelich, or whether it's just the team's cold, it's dropped the Marlins slugging percentage in those 13 games to the very bottom of the National League, right next to the Padres.
I'd love to see D try to get some excitement going and just get a jump. Just get a jump and go for it.
Yelich rolls it up the middle, and the Padres turn their 4th double play. Luis Perdomo right now has handcuffed Miami. It is 3-1 San Diego.
A lot of times before the ball game, we come out 3 in the afternoon. You see Perry Hill working with the infielders on different parts of the game. He's back working a lot with Xavier Scruggs again on trying to keep his arm short, which he says is very important for an infielder, and he worked with him on it the other day here. He said, unlike an outfielder, you have a lot less distance as an infielder, especially those throws. You may have only 50 feet for the runner once you get the ball to get to the next base. So it's funneling the ball, as he talks about, and keeping those arms short. An outfielder might have a longer throw because he's throwing a lot longer distance and also has more feet to worry about. Sometimes it's up to, you may have 150 feet for a runner going first to third when he gets the ball. So it's one of the little things they work on a lot. Perry did tell me Scruggs he worked a lot with in spring training. Hadn't had a chance, obviously, when he was in the minors, so they're refreshing some things. He said he's a tireless worker out there. Happy to work with him again.
All right, good stuff. Thank you, Craig. Nick Wittgren in the Padre half of the 7th inning. 4th time at bat for Travis Jankowski. He's 2 for 3. Couple singles. You've got Alexei Ramirez and Yangervis Solarte. Wittgren misses up and out. Padres have had some clutch 2-out hits. In the 4th was Luis Sardinas. In the 6th, Adam Rosales. And they occupy the bottom of the order. Rosales in the 7th spot, Sardinas in the 8th spot. Into the bat, and Rojas runs it down. Justin Nicolino went 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs. Nicolino walked 1. It was intentional. Did not strike out a hitter. 101 pitches. Alexei was 0 for 3. To center, Ozuna. 2 outs. Here comes Solarte. Good work by Wittgren. Coors Light cold hard fact. Some of the players involved in trades. Padres have had 26. That's one of them, Andrew Cashner, who was supposed to start today's game, but apparently the blister that he's been navigating through troublesome. So not starting against the Padres. The Marlins bullpen has just 6 guys in it right now. That is going to change, you would think, in the next 24 hours as Miami goes in for 4 in New York and then 3 in Cleveland. 0-2. To right, Ichiro back and has it. Runs down the line drive. 9 pitches in the top of the 7th. That means bottom of the 7th. Miami down 3-1.
just a game. I play my way. Don't want no distraction from action.
Padres and Marlins. Marlins part 3-1 San Diego, bottom 7. There's your line score. Rich Waltz along with Eduardo Perez. Partner. When Abner Doubleday drew the game up and made sure that the bases were 90 feet apart, do you think he had any idea how devastating double plays could be on your offense? And on the other side, how great it could be for a guy like Luis Perdomo, who has rolled 4 double play balls today.
I think when he drew it up, he did not ever think that there was going to be a pitch called the sinker that would be the equalizer and get those ground balls. And so far, the inability of the team to be able to do so. A lot of fans at home, you're probably thinking, well, why isn't Mattingly putting hit and runs on? Well, it not only comes from the manager, it can also come from the players themselves. The players can also have a little fun amongst them, have signs and say, you know what, 1-1 count, let's put it on. If I touch the bill of the hat, or if I touch my sleeve, or something happens, or if you get on first pitch, that's the way it works. You see a lot of teams that are together for a long time, that happens. The Marlins right now have not done so as players or even in the managerial standpoint, so the frustration sits at home, and it sits also right now with the Marlins through 6 innings.
Marcell Ozuna cracks a ground ball to short on the first pitch. Catch, no tag. Did he tag first base though? Now he's called safe by Alan Porter, and I think the replay is going to tell a couple things. 1, did he tag him initially? 2, did Ozuna get the base? There's the sweep.
Did not get that, and from that angle you can't tell. From that angle you can't tell, so there has to be another angle to say if he did or not. This one might be more telling about him tagging the bag or not. Doesn't touch him, but oh my.
He missed the base by a great deal.
Problem is, Alan Porter, as soon as he called safe right there, he has to stick to that safe call. That's why he went to it again.
And Porter, look, I mean, in the mechanics of this, he's watching the tag.
Did you see Marcell after he got tagged?
Ozuna's not even waiting. He's walking to the dugout. He knows he's out.
He's already walking back. But as soon as he got tagged by Solarte on the way back, Marcell just, he was like, all right, I'm out. Watch this right here. He gets tagged. He's like, okay, I'm out. Whoa, you called me safe? Okay, I'll stay. But Don Mattingly now is speaking with Mark Carlson because he wants to know how the challenge was contested. Was it that he tagged him, or was it that he missed the bag? Because that's the difference in this call being made.
Although once you go to replay, it opens up the, I want to say Pandora's box, but it opens up the play for scrutiny for the umpires in New York. If they see that, for instance, that Ozuna did miss the bag, I believe they can call him out. Either way, I don't think it looks good.
Either way, he's out. It's not that it looks good or it doesn't. Bottom line was he never tagged the bag. But this is what Mark Carlson is telling them. Make sure that, how was it questioned? Was it that he missed? Because they claim that he tagged them on the way through. Isn't that what New York has to look at, and that's it? I believe so.
Ozuna's not even at first base. I mean, he's halfway down the first base line on his way back to. He clearly misses the base.
And let's face it, guys, the bottom line, you want to get the call right, even if it's wrong or right for the team.
He's out. So Ozuna is out. I think the crowd is reacting because as they watch the replay up on the large screen, they were focused on the tag and not Ozuna racing by the base without getting to it. You can see Ozuna at that point is just trying to avoid the tag.
Right. And now going back to the throw, Sardinhas has to do a better job of not relaxing. He has to stay focused and go through that. And he has to go through it when it goes through the throw. I mean, he has to follow the throw. That's the bottom line. He didn't follow the throw, came up, got a little relaxed, flipped it over.
Real Muto shoots it into center field, his second hit. The dive by Sardinhas, and he's not getting up. Sardinhas is down, and you can see him grimacing in pain. Now he's up. Andy Green, the manager of the Padres, trots out to short.
The wrist.
Working on that left hand or wrist.
One would be rolled over on the dive. Ouch. Oh, yeah. Watch how his glove grabs right there and then, oh, turned on.
He's going to stay in the game. That's a scary moment for Luis Sardinhas. All right, here's Ichiro.
Wouldn't this be a good time for Ichiro to hit his first home run?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're dropping pennies in the fountain, and you've got to wish.
Let's think positive. We've been thinking ground balls the entire day, and that's what Luis Perdomo has done to perfection. Sooner or later, you have to miss.
Line drive, and that's double play number 5. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Ichiro hits a bullet back up the middle, and Perdomo still 3-1. The laser show, man, was it rolling for a while there. Hits in 11 straight at bats. That one is over. We talked about Garrett Cole's elbow issues. He has officially been scratched from the start against the Cubs. And Disco, Anthony DeSclafani is pitching well. Marlins saw that. DeSclafani, 9 strikeouts. First complete game. Well, he threw a line drive right back to Luis Perdomo. That's 5 double plays, 4 on the ground, and 1 by air. Kyle Bearclaw trying to keep it at 3-1. Padres bullpen with a little bit of activity. Some guys are up, milling about. Bearclaw becomes the second reliever to work. Nick Wickgren handled the 7th inning. And he did it in 1-2-3 fashion. This is Dickerson. He takes a fastball up. Dickerson, a guy that the Pirates picked in the 3rd round in 2011. Out of Indiana. Won the Triple Crown of the Big Ten back in 2010. First team All-American, Big Ten Player of the Year. And that was his freshman season. And that's a strike. Bearclaw gets a strikeout. Now, a couple innings ago, you had the idea of getting the relievers in a little quicker. Our crack staff is not limited just to the booth or the production truck. Jim, who's a frequent viewer, sent in a few notes about bullpen cars.
All right.
Aside from the movie Major Leagues. 1951 is when it started, apparently. White Sox reliever Marv Rotblatt became the first pitcher to ride into a game in Comiskey in a new bullpen car, prompting a New York beat writer to remark, "Chicago has gone Bush just like Cleveland. The car is only for the White Sox pitcher." So the White Sox reacted for the visiting team by providing a black Cadillac supplied by a local funeral home.
That's awesome.
That's innovative too. That's creative. Fastball by Bearclaw. In 1979, Orioles pitcher Mike Flanagan famously said, "I could never play in New York. The first time I ever came into a game there, I got in the bullpen car and the driver told me to lock the doors." So I figured we'd put a bow on the bullpen. I like the idea. I wouldn't mind.
I think just if you get a little golf cart, you open the gate, let's go. Quick and easy. You know, pitchers, they want them to run onto the mound. I mean, you're already.
Strike 3 called. Bearclaw, a strikeout fest right now. He's got 2 of them.
It's a good pitch, also top of the zone. Shipfoot has been hitting everything. Checking his swing, maybe discovering a hole in his arsenal. Not liking that pitch up there.
His strikeout rate just keeps climbing. I mean, it's at 14.5 per 9 innings. That's best among National League relievers. Norris now is 0 for 3.
I say pop up to third here.
Well, he, as you pointed out, has almost completed the pop-up cycle, first, second, short. And it would be in true order, too. Starting at first all the way around the diamond. San Diego bullpen. Left-hander Friedrich is up.
I just don't see them hitting for Perdomo. So far, 78 pitches for Perdomo through 7 innings. Farthest he went last outing was 7 innings. Build him up as far as innings is concerned, but the pitch count, double play has been his best friend. That was it right there. That's the one if he would have swung at, the potential pop-up to the third baseman. Tough as a right-handed hitter to pop up to the third baseman, but what the heck? I've seen a lot of things so far today.
Well, a swing and a miss.
That'll work.
Cal Bearclaw on a family day out of the Clevelander, doing what he does best, and that's strike out major league hitters. Plays so far in 7 innings, and you could probably, if you really were into it, queue up all 5 of them on MLB at bats, or you could just watch highlights, get scores, StatCast, and all that. Get the app now, MLB.com at bat, at the App Store. Xavier Scruggs is 2 for 2 against Luis Perdomo, who is only at 79 pitches as he enters the bottom of the 8th.
It's the first changeup he throws to Scruggs. He's gone fastballs down, trying to pound them in. So far, Xavier with 2 hits.
And it's 2-1.
You know you're doing something right when it's the bottom of the 8th inning and still part of the lineup, 7, 8, 9, has yet to even, they're facing you for the 3rd time through.
Well, that's what 4 double play balls on the ground and 1 line drive double play will do. Almost hit him. Actually surprised that it didn't. See, that would be a good test case for your theory on, or your idea, that if the ball is caught by the catcher, it ticks a guy's jersey.
Same pitch almost.
Yep. Missed him again, and the Marlins have a runner here in the 8th, and here comes Rojas.
This is where the bullpen gets started for San Diego. Have to get it started, especially seeing those two pitches. Quackenbush will be warming up, and you have to be able to recognize from the bench, okay, is he losing it or not? You're taking him into territory where he has yet to perform at the major league level, and most likely at the minor league level also, because he came from A-ball.
7 innings, his longest outing, and he did that twice. His last start against Arizona, he only threw 96 pitches in 7 innings against Arizona, and he had a 7-inning outing in Washington back in late July. The young Rule 5 draft pick, seemingly starting to blossom for the Padres. He's got Rojas up there. Now Rojas bounced into a double play. That was in the 5th.
Last time swung at that first pitch also to get that 6-4-3.
Of the 4 double plays on the ground, all of them have been out to short.
And that's part of the strategy. Sinker ball pitchers, you're supposed to stay way inside and drive it the other way. That way, eliminating that ground ball, that rollover out of the short third.
Rojas pulls it wide of third. And quickly it's 0-2. Jeff Francoeur is on deck. Andy Green is on the rail. That's Scruggs at first. Swing and a miss, and an 0-2 pitch in the dirt. And Perdomo gets his very first strikeout. How about that?
First swing and miss strikeout. On a slider way out of the zone.
You're right.
That's the biggest key.
You're right, and I'm off. Rojas was called out looking back in the second.
It's not every day you get that one on.
No. Sometimes you miss the cutoff man here. 86 pitches. Here's Francoeur.
Well, the way Perdomo's pitching, sometimes it's better to get the swing and miss and still have a runner at first. Opportunity, that tying run with a home run hitter like Jeff Francoeur at the plate.
Pinch a penny presents Francoeur.
Went for it.
Healthy swing, but now it's 0-2.
A little too long bat. More on the handle.
The roller up first, and it trickles foul. Now, our baseball researcher, John Chimchuk, has been busy the last couple minutes running down the Major League record for most grounded into double plays induced by a pitcher in a game. Now, the Marlins have hit into 5 double plays, but one of those was a line drive from Ichiro. So the record is 6, held by 3 pitchers. Matt Harrison did it last for Texas. Mark Burley for the White Sox 2009, and Gene Bearden for Cleveland in 48. 6 ground ball double plays by a pitcher in a game. Francoeur to third. There's 1, there's 2. That's 5 on the ground, 6 total. Perdomo looks around and says, another one? Unbelievable. 3-1 San Diego. Frustrating day for the Fish. Although second inning, Miami got off to a good start. Xavier Scruggs knocks home JT Realmuto. That was back-to-back doubles. And then Schimpf happens. Ryan Schimpf. RBI triple in the 4th. He's had a great series. This is a key sequence. Luis Sardinez, after Adam Rosales had stolen second with 2 outs. That was 4th inning. This is 6th. Rosales is up and he knocks home Schimpf. Ryan Schimpf. That man has been a ground ball machine. Luis Perdomo has been able to induce 5 double play ground balls and get a 6th double play on a comeback line drive from Ichiro. So the Marlins, in 8 innings on offense, have 6 double plays. Dustin McGowan. Rosales leads it off. He promptly bangs one off his foot. Sardinez, and then Perdomo's spot.
Say whatever you want, but this is Perdomo's game. You see Quackenbush, he's just standing there waiting. Most pitches Perdomo has thrown in the game is 113. That was done against the Brewers on August 2nd. Followed that up by 105 pitch performance and then 110 pitch performance. So he can go out there as far as pitches are concerned. Hasn't really had any high stress innings.
Speaking of stress, the Mets are under some. The Phillies have a 5-1 lead in the top of the 7th in New York. Marlins Mets tomorrow night in New York. Mets are just a game back behind both Miami and Pittsburgh. Two hops for Rojas at short. And Miami and Pittsburgh are a game and a half out of that second wild card held by St. Louis, who, by the way, is down 5-2 to Oakland right now. So St. Louis is losing. The Mets are losing. Pittsburgh is down 1-0 to Milwaukee. And here is Sardinius. What a series for this guy, a light hitting shortstop who on the year was under 200. Smokes one, Scruggs picks it and gets to the bag, and Sardinius now 5 for 7 in the series.
That was a bullet. Xavier, nice play, great reaction right here. He's playing in, short hopping it. Saying don't panic, I got it.
Now the Marlins will have the top of their order coming up in the bottom of this inning. Gordon, Prado, Yelich, Ozuna, and Real Muto if anybody reaches. And it looks like and feels like it's the guy at the plate who will be on the mound, Perdomo.
Takes a nice swing too. You can tell he used to be a position player back in the day, either in the Dominican Republic or something, but watch this healthy swing.
Rojas to first. Miami down to their last 3 outs. Top of the order up. Perdomo going for his first big league complete game. It's 3-1. High by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica and by your South Florida Honda dealers. Not on that boat, but on that plane and on to New York. Brad likes big city. City Field, actually. Thor, maybe not in the series. David Wright, not so much. But the Mets are hot and they're scoring lots of runs. Then it's Cleveland. Marlins haven't been there in a while, but it's a great place to play. Fish and Indians, the first place Indians, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Here in Miami, a Rule 5 draft pick in his first year in the big leagues. His first year above single A, has thrown 90 pitches in 8 innings. He hasn't sniffed a complete game in the big leagues this year. He did have one last year in single A Peoria. And so here is Perdomo, producer of 6 double plays, 5 on the ground and 1 a line drive. Gordon, Prado, Yelich. D's been on twice with a single and a walk. Couple breaking balls for strikes. Hand and Mauer. Mauer, the closer. Hand has worked in both games in this series. And D. Gordon strikes out. Perdomo has his first out of the 9th inning. Checkers presents Marlins Live after the game.
Well, you didn't mess around with D. Went breaking ball, breaking ball, breaking ball. Got him to chase that last time. That's up to Martin to get on base here.
If he gets on base with hand up, you would expect hand is for Yelich?
Yeah, I would expect it, but at the same time, he hasn't even gotten to the most pitches thrown yet. He's still in the 90s right now, 94 pitches. He's induced 6 double plays. I'd give him the opportunity. I'd stick with him. I think it's a growing process to know how to finish a game. San Diego Padres, they're not going anywhere this season.
Saw Andy Green, their manager, Darren Balsley, the pitching coach, conferring. Prado rolls it out to short, and Perdomo gets another ground ball out, and there's 2 outs here in the 9th. Some of these Marlin hitters are going to be seeing Luis Perdomo in their sleep tonight.
So far tonight, 13 ground balls, 13 ground ball outs.
So here's Yelich with 2 outs. Trying to get Ozuna to the plate any way he can. Yelich a ground ball to short, and Luis Perdomo, a gem here in Miami. A complete game, 6 double plays. And the Rule 5 draft pick, who never pitched above single A until this year, gets the win and the complete game, and is holding on tight to that baseball. And a frustrating day ends for Miami here at Marlins Park. 3-1 the final. The Padres win it. They win the series. They take 2 of 3 from the Fish. Marlins Live postgame is next.